Good afternoon, everybody. सबको मेरा नमस्कार. This is International Master and Field Senior Trainer Sekhar Sahu welcomes you on behalf of Sports Authority of Gujarat and Gujarat State Chess Association to this intermediate training session. Good afternoon, everybody. सबको मेरा नमस्कार. This is International Master and Field Senior Trainer. So let's start with some interesting endgame studies. Then I will take you to technical endgame. The position is white to play win. Now white knight is under attack, rook under attack. So he can save only one piece, but white can win the game. Hello, Kiara Mehta, Meg Parmar, Devars, Veerbhadra Singh, Parvat Thakkar, Sritu Nandi, Basal Parikh, Tanmay Azmera, Tirth Parmar, Khanak, Dek Vaidya, Akshar Jhala, all are welcome. White to play and win. Knight under attack, rook under attack. He is giving a threat to take the rook and take this. Two threats. What to do? Repair work going on. So somebody at least one answer I want. Hello, Suresh Bhai Chawda, Ramakrishna. Rook D8. Ramakrishna, your answer is correct. क्या कर सकता हूँ? Now bishop attacks rook. So now the threat is again he is attacking the rook and taking knight. Ramakrishna, your first move is correct. How you go about it now? अरे यार d5. I will take the knight. On rook d5, he will take the knight. You take the bishop, then he will seal your rook. The point is, the rook is trapped now, but white has a win. White still wins again. How? So far correct. You have made correct moves. What is the answer? This is correct. King c3. Okay. Now king c3. You want to play king c3. So he will play king. This is correct winning plan. Now black will wait. Black will wait. Now black will wait. The point is, black is waiting. When you go here, he will go. That's why you should not go to the square. You wait. Now he will wait. You come. He will take. Winning. Zugzwang. Zugzwang. You have to play and then mate. No other move. If you play bishop g5 is not correct. Now this is incorrect. Because here maybe I will come over here. It might draw. This could be a draw. This is a draw position. So the correct move is rook here is correct. Then this is the correct move. Now you take. Now king. Only thing you don't go here. Then king comes and winning easily. So you'll wait. Wait. Now winning. Zugzwang. Okay. Now yeah. I guess this is the position. Let me check. A7, B6, E3, E3, H6. Yeah, this is the position on the board. And now white to play and win. Hey, Babre. If the repair works does not stop, I will have to stop the session. I cannot conduct class. No. Hello, Mokshit. Hello, Prince Gandhi. Karthik Kesari. There is no secret. All three performance in you have to just go through the classics and master your ability in endgame, middle game, and opening. Basically, classic game is more important. The rapid game has no meaning because if you have classical understanding, you can play very fast. Maybe I will show from this. Maybe I will show right directly. Directly I will show. White to play and win. There are three themes in one game. This is analysis of great player Keres. I will show you rook versus two pawn and one pawn, and bishop pawn rook pawn is a special typical endgame. White is winning the game. White is winning now. White will play, and black has nothing better. Rook is already tied down. So if you play rook c1, c7 wins. Mate threat. White gives a mate threat and the pawn is lost. So rook c1 does not work. And rook g1, just rook into pawn wins easily. So the only move king. Check, pawn push. Now, zugzwang. This is a zugzwang. If you will take king takes pawn, it is a Laskar system, Laskar setup, theme. If you take it is Laskar theme. For example, he plays king 8. Now if you play king takes pawn, king, idea queen. So you give a check, king. Now queen is coming. So you have to come here. So you will give a check, king. Again, now again check threat. Again you stop, check again. One by one, you will push. Check again. Now check. One more rank. Check you have to force. You cannot do queen. You will take and make queen. So only move. Now check and you will take the pawn with check. This is the Laskar method. So you cannot play king into pawn. That means at the moment, he cannot play king into pawn is losing. Laskar. So he will play this. Now Zugzwan. Now rook is tied down. Rook is tied down already. The king has to go only here. King cannot take. Then it is Laskar. So only move. Now if you will go king, a discover attack will win. Discover attack and queen is coming. So only move. Forcing the Laskar method. So Krishav Shah, Marth Godani. All right, next. This position, normally rook pawn, bishop pawn, it will be a draw. The position, if the black king is on the square f6, it is a draw. And the rook should be cut off. But now the king is already, the possession of the square is not possible. So it is winning for white. Still, I give you time. So you find out how should white win. These are theoretically very important. In somebody someday a player will face this type of hand game. So you should know the method how to win such positions. What is rule of promotion? You have to promote a pawn to queen or a rook or bishop or knight. That's all. You have to you have to promote to a piece. You know you have to promote the pawn 8th rank and put a queen or a rook or anything you desire. Good afternoon. So rook d2, no, pawn push. Now check, no problem. If you take the pawn, it is cut off and winning. It is winning easily. Pawn push wins. So you cannot take the pawn. Another check, attack. Okay. Now this is winning. Because after king g8, pawn h7 check is coming. Winning. Push. And then rook f6. Zugzwang. Zugzwang. The king is coming now. White king c7, d7, e7. So this is a theoretical win. Not rook d2 at that moment. Simply pawn push. Simply pawn push wins. Okay. The point is now imagine, suppose I make a setup. Suppose I do a setup. Let us say the black king is here and white rook is somewhere here. This is a drawn. This check. No, I will show you. Black to play, white cannot win. He'll give check, and now this is just waiting. Drawn. Even if you change a little bit also, the king possession of the square, he cannot win. Now this position I showed you already. This position, this position is white to play and win. The point is black is paralyzed. Black king is paralyzed and his pieces are very uncomfortable. So winning. Pawn into is bad. If you play this is a draw. This is a draw. Because stalemate position. So h6 is correct move. Pawn push. Other moves are bad. You play knight e6, king is winning. Gradually you will enter. So pawn push. Now king d3. Push. I want the pawn to adjust. Now it will a zugzwang will come. Can you explain light by putting white king a1 a7, black king c8? Okay, I will do that. I will show you. Now this is easy win. If you take it is a stalemate, but I will come knight. If you take the bishop, it is a stalemate, and if you make a queen, also does a stalemate. Rook or queen stalemate, bishop still not win, knight wins under promotion. All you need a mate. Now the knight, I mean, Zugzwang will come. Whatever you do, he wants to now. I want to come to any of the square, to give a mate, and he cannot stop. He can't stop. So he gives bishop idea. He wants to take the pawn, but now pawn push. You have mate in three. The pawn will have two moves, but it is your move. That means in three moves, white should reach here. That's all. One, two, three. So what is that idea? White king on a1. Okay, I will do that. I will do that. White king on a1. Then pawn on a7. Black king c8. a7. How can it be a win? This is a draw. Now white to play. White will promote. White should not push the pawn. White should now over the board play. White should put a queen, rook there, and then that's all. And remove the pawn from the board. White should make a queen or a rook or knight and leave the board. Touch the pawn, but don't place the pawn and leave. You have to bring pawn here and bring a piece. If you leave the pawn, it is illegal. Suppose you push the pawn on eighth rank and leave your hand, it is illegal. So you have to bring a rook or queen in the hand, promote the pawn and leave the rook and queen there and remove the pawn. That's all. Okay. This I showed you already. In this position, it took rook into bishop, and rook into. This end game, now white is uh, Tukmako's vehicle. Black has winning chance now. And this puts black into Jukswa. Check. And you lose the pawn. Okay, you can go down, but then king f4 wins. So now rook coming here. This is not a good move. This will not win. The point is here, if you play, of course I cannot take the pawn, but rook will come here. And when you take the pawn, it's a draw. So king move does not win. Rook. And now check. This should win. Even this is winning. Even king g4, rook, check, king coming here winning. f3. King g4 wins, but he plays another way. This is also winning. Enter. Now if you attack the pawn, rook a4 will come. So this is a bad move. If you play, then king will get a discover. This discover and winning the game. Maybe here. Maybe here. Now when you take, this is, and rook check is not working. Pawn is advanced. So it doesn't matter, doesn't work. That means push. It is what I just showed you, Keras. Reverse Keras. That position I just showed you in the beginning, the reverse system. Discover check. Pawn push. Now Zugzwang. Now if you will take the pawn, Laskar method. Now if you take the pawn, Laskar. And if you play king, then I will play rook here, Zugzwang. No, I will not play rook here, but rather rook. Zugzwang. Now you can rook cannot move. The rook is tied down because the pawn will fall. And if you move king, discover attack and queen. And if you take the pawn, the Laskar method. Laskar. You will play king. Idea rook check. Now rook check. Same thing. I'll keep pushing. I'll keep pushing the pawn. King. One by one. I will push the king rank by rank. Rank by rank. Laskar. And one more rank you will fall. The pawn falls with check. So I hope you understand this method. Now check and pawn with check and winning the game. No, it is not required to ask the player. If the arbiter is there, it is okay. Even if the arbiter is not there, you have to take what you want to promote, queen, rook or knight, bishop. You hold that piece and you put the pawn to 8th rank and leave the queen there and remove the pawn. It's simple. But if you leave the pawn on 8th rank, it is ambiguous. It is illegal because you are not disclosing what you want. In earlier days, in olden days, the rule was if you do not tell anything, it's a queen. But now new rules have come. Okay, all right. So Laskar method comes. For example, in short Yusupo, the game became a draw. Even though a pawn down, Grandmaster Yusupo is very good in hand game. He comfortably drew. Now I will reverse this. Now black to play. Black is Yusupo, king into pawn. Even though two pawns down, black can draw this position. Can you say about how a rule book? You can just download FIDE handbook of FIDE. There is a book called Handbook of FIDE. You can download the basic rules. There are some books are there. You can download from FIDE website. Karthik Kesari, you can download from FIDE website. Arbiters Arbiter Commission website is there. All right. How to draw this game? Two pawns down, it's a draw. Technical draw. It is not any blunder here. Technical draw. Can somebody tell me how black can handle the position? A draw. You see, this is between two grandmasters. Nigel Short is a very strong player, and the game became a draw after the check. And now, rook. This is an important move. Keeping the king rook tied down. Now, for example, if rook will come here, for example, you keep that means the check will not help. Again, I come. Now, once this pawn is gone, rook pawn bishop pawn draw. Suppose you come here, check, king here. Now rook takes. This is a draw because the king has possession of the perfect square. No win. No win achieved. Rook pawn bishop pawn draw. In grandmaster play, many times, maybe you will find if you check the data, at least or 8 or 10 games, you will find draw. When the king has possession of the square. Or on the right side, it will be f3. if it is on the right side of the board. So this is a draw. That means here rook king here, rook into pawn. It is a draw because the rook pawn. If it is a knight pawn, the rule is different. But rook pawn, so it's a draw. However, I don't want to waste your time asking the correct method. Rook check, attack. You cannot improve. Cut off necessary. Wait, attack. Now the point is rook has become passive. Wait, you give a check, then no improvement. You give a check again, you have to go back. After king f3, you have to go back. So draw. Why this move? Why this move? Now the king will take care of the rook pawn. I mean, the king will come here if necessary, and the rook will be busy here. Stay. No progress. Okay. Now the point is, if you push this pawn, rook is hanging, so rook here. Wait. I will not allow. King again rook check. Rook check or attack. Keep just don't allow the pawn to advance. Draw. You can see that game. Fisher boat winning game. Two rook pawns. Useless rook pawns. Draw. Not another check. Another check is now what happens? The king will come quicker. Now if you give a check, the king is coming. So it is not a good idea. Or maybe king here and then king here. So it is not a good idea. King, draw. Forced. It's a draw. If you push the pawn, he'll give rook check. Rook check. Now draw again. For example, now if you come here, maybe here I don't have to take the pawn. I will come. Maybe I can take it and draw. This is also draw. Now king, rook check, rook check, another check, and then I come. So it is a draw only. No progress. I think they agreed to a draw after this. That means that rook and pawn ending. You need to have. I have already discussed the absolute basics, and you should not get disheartened even if you are one or two pawn down. Source of draw is there. I think I have showed you a very famous game between Botvinnik and Dr. Maxwell. I will show that today again. This position, it is white to play and draw. It looks like it is hopeless position. Is it a draw or win? Just a minute. It's a win. It's a win only. It's not a draw. It's a win. White to play and win. हेलो दीना पटेल says, what is Dina says? RB5 check. दीना check कहाँ से आएगा RB5 में? और last position, are you talking of last position? Nikhil Jumani RB, okay. Now this position, what is the winning plan for white? Check. King आएगा. King comes to H7. Now rook check. प्रियम चावड़ा अभी ये मारना जरूरी नहीं है. ये मारेगा तो मेट है, but it is not a force move. He will come over here. If I take mate into queen check and queen b7, but come here. What now? क्या करोगे? क्या? You need to participate. कोई भी, somebody. Yes, there comes Priyam Chavda. Correct move. Correct move. You cannot take because of pawn queen check. Next queen check. So you cannot take. Or you come here, it will lead to mating attack. Rook check should lead to mating attack. So you have to take, check, and check, check, and now check. Now a quiet move. The point is, queen into queen is not winning now. Queen into queen, it's a draw. So a quiet move. Now queen check. Now if king c5, rook check, and winning queen. Or king comes to here, rook pinning and winning. Because the square. Square. So again it is tricky white to play and win. The point is, if the pawns are not there, it's a draw. So because his pawns are badly placed, white is winning the game. एक pawn नहीं है तो भी draw है. You remove any pawn, it's a draw. But the bishop is poorly placed, and now that means you have to bring a knight to the square. Zugzwang. Knight, check, zugzwang. Only move, then knight. Knight. नाउ द पॉइंट इज, यहां से यहां तक अभी देखिए, कंट्रोल 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 Take square. Attack. Now go back to same place. Now improve the king. Improve the king. Knight. Now who has to come? Now the point is it will lead to a mating attack. Check. Now the two knights are wonderfully controlling the squares. Okay, here you take a check and winning. Because if the pawn is not there, draw. You remove the pawn, it is a draw, but the pawn on the board, it is winning. I will give some session to this two knight versus one pawn, rook bishop and pawn versus rook versus knight, or I will give some session special endings. White to play and win. The win is very funny. Very funny. Okay, you try first. Akila Bhuvan, hello. No, this is not a win. अब ये कैसा विन होगा? ये कैसा होगा विन? किंग इंटू मारा तो ड्रॉ. No, it is not a win. The point is, would you believe that the pawns will be lost? Or if black will try to save the pawn, he will checkmate it. He will be checkmated. Bishop and knight can mate. All of you know if white can win the pawns, it is easy win. So you have to bring the knight. Bishop into pawn, he will lose the knight. So knight must compulsory. Knight is only move. Push the pawn. Now check and knight only move. He attacks. Now knight. So he will come. Now bring the king. He will come. Now stop the pawn. The pawn is advancing. Pawn is advancing. So stop the pawn. King. Now he has only one legal move. Now if you come here, knight into pawn will fall. All this thing will fall. King coming to c4 wins. Knight into pawn wins again. Knight into pawn wins. Or king c4 wins. So he plays here pawn push. That gives a checkmate. The mate is not forced, but if you give the pawns, I will win. Otherwise, it is getting checkmated. Series of force moves. White to play and win. Very interesting and tricky. Find out about it. How does white win? White to play and win. One pawn each. No, no, no. BB2, no. If you waste endgame, no time. One move waste, it is a draw. BB2, he will just bring the bishop here. D2. Once the bishop coming to D2, he will catch. You cannot go. So don't give time. Instead of BB2, you push the pawn. Push the pawn. Now you cannot push because this will queen, very queen. So you cannot push. You have to come here. Only move. Now what is the winning plan? Now there has to be only one plan. He has to come here and challenge. दूसरा कोई plan ही नहीं. No other plan. बोर्ड पे दूसरा piece ही नहीं है. The only move. Because if you delay, then king will come. If you delay waiting time pass, then king g2, king coming winning. So only move. And now the point is he cannot capture and he cannot push. So he will move the king. Then I will make king move, king move. Now bishop. Why this move? White was waiting to. Why bishop into bishop? Because when the pawn queens here, a skewer will come. That is the one. That is the one. Decoy. Decoy. Now I will take, push, push, queen, queen, and skewer. Okay, you do not go, but then supposing I go here, I go. You do not go here. Suppose you come here, it is not going to work. It is not going to work now. Because I will come now king. You cannot go. Again you cannot go. You go here and now maybe I will come with the king. You come here, king. Now I push the pawn. Uh, I think I am making a mistake here. Making a mistake here. Suppose you don't go, you go to here. Now instead of going, you go here. I cannot go. Winning plan here. Complicated. I didn't look at this line. Maybe king here. Yeah, it is winning. Take, and pawn push, queen check. It is a knight pawn. It is lost. Lost. Yeah, this is simple. Birabhadra Singh, you are right. All right. Next. White to play and win. The first move is forced, so I will make it pawn push. Pawn push. A pawn into pawn, it's a draw. If you take pawn into pawn, knight check and knight into pawn draw. One bishop cannot mate. So push is forced. And now knight check, knight coming, check. Yeah. The whole point is now you have to put him into zugzwang. You need to put him into zugzwang. Now if knight f7, king f2, the king has no movement. Why? What is the final point? You see, at the moment the pawn is controlling this, and the knight is controlling this. That means there is no entry. And if you come, that means if the pawn is pushed, the king will enter. Or if the pawn is not there, the king enters and wins. So I want the pawn to move. I want the pawn to move. So here, bishop. Okay, other moves, king f1, bf2, zugzwang. You have to push the pawn only now. No other move. That is why he has to play king. Only pawn push now. Zugzwang. Now you are forced to push the pawn, and that is method is winning. You have to black has to push the pawn. Zugzwang. Now you push the pawn or here, whatever. Bishop into pawn will come. You push. If you come here, now this is easy winning. Easy winning. Easily winning. Zugzwang is the key. A tricky endgame. White to play and win. Just a minute, huh? Just 1 minute. White to play win. Think. Yeah, 1 minute. आपने चला गया किताब चला गया आएगा अभी आएगा ना आएगा जिसके पास कोई सामान नहीं है कल आएगा वो आएगा नहीं तब बता दीजिए कल कल करेंगे हाँ कोई सामान नहीं है इसलिए इसको बोला लेकिन हो जाएगा तो बोला कि अभी तो मौका तो है ही so I think another some 20 minutes I have to stop the class. The repair work will go on. Okay, so this position is winning. The point, what will happen now? Both are having pawn on seventh rank. Both will try to queen, but you can give a mating threat. The win is possible only because the king is in a mating net. So I have given you the hint. Given you the hint. It's up. Why? Because both will queen, but queen will come to f3. That is why the queen next I will bring the queen, and queen will come to f3 to give mate. Queen, he will also queen. Mate threat. So mate threat defended. Now you have to give. Now this is a mate threat here. Now if the bishop comes here, there is also a mate threat here will come. So he will be running into zugzwang. Bishop. It is necessary. The check is coming. The check is coming. All kind of problems. So he decided to bishop attacks. Only zugzwang. Now there are two mate threats. Rather mate here and mate here. Two mate threat. He can defend. He can defend one, but this is a mate. So this is the whole point is the king situation. Decides the result of the game. It is not a pure technical landing. Technique and tactics. Bishop g2 wins. अरे हो गया ये. Okay. I think because that work will start, they told me फिर भी 2 गेम और करा दूंगा. 2 more games. I did up to Zaychik Kramnik. I think I have done up to this Karpar. So Golden versus Kuzmin I will do. Golden versus Alexei Kuzmin. Alexei Kuzmin is a famous coach. He worked with Alexander Morozovich. Even he has written a very nice book, Alexander Morozovich and Kuzmin. Okay, so in this, I will straight away take you to the key diagram. I think I showed you already. I already showed you. I already showed you. Knight into pawn. I showed you. Pawn push wins. Now bishop check first and then take and win. I already showed you. The next. This is Bastriko versus Kogan. What about Belyavsky Karpov? Belyavsky Karpov. That game I will show. Karpov white. Belyavsky black. Okay. None versus Andrei Sokolov in the Olympiad. Very normal. Now the correct move is knight f6. Now black should play knight f6 normal. This is a standard position. But black made bad move. Bad move. He is giving a threat, but one must complete development. Rule is a rule. You have to do any activity after completing development and castle. Otherwise, it will be premature. Premature. Now attack and attack. So you have to take it. This bishop into c4 force takes. Now you should take initiative. So I give you time. What should you do now? Black has violated the rule. So the simple position you need to open diagonal and file. So e5 f5 one of the things you should consider. F5. Now it is too late. If you play knight f6 now it is not good. Pawn takes pawn and d5. Rook into knight. Finishing. The only move. Then bishop only move. You cannot take. Pawn is pinned. So winning. So it is too late to play knight f6. It is too late to play knight f6 now. So he plays bishop. Now you should play pawn into pawn, and this is very quick win. Idea: queen h5 check and take the pawn. Now pawn into pawn, queen check will come and knight f6 is not coming. The position is already very bad. Now pawn d5 you just cannot develop. So this is the fastest way. Very quick win. But John Nunn, he is happy already. He did not take this simple move he played. No, no. John Nunn played here. Simple move. Queen g4. Pawn into pawn a stronger move. Knight f6, though if it is bad, still he should play knight f6. At least development. Another bad move. How should you punish this? How should you punish? The same way. Now, he is giving a threat here. 1, 2. But what about your chance? What about your chance? So, you should play pawn into pawn. Bishop into knight means queen into f7 check will come. The only move. Bishop into pawn, it is a big positional advantage. Lot of weak squares, weak pawn. Just it is terrible. All I will do rook e1. That's all. No, maybe here knight f5. This is the correct one. So bishop into pawn, bad position. So he took pawn into pawn, pawn into pawn. Now if bishop into pawn is not playable. Bishop into pawn, queen f1 check will kill. Knight fork. Queen g6 coming. Hopeless position. Cannot take it anyway. Lost. Okay, what else you want to do? What you want to do now? Now, if you will attack here, idea pawn into bishop there. I think I saw some move. What did I see? Just queen f6 should finish. Queen f6, idea queen f7 check and discover check. I think queen into f6 should finish. Now you cannot take the knight. Take the knight, check, and you go anywhere. Some bishop discover check. No, no, no. Rook into pawn check should win. So you cannot take that. Finish. So this whole concept is a lesson that a player should not go against the basic principles. Development on priority. Activity or action without completing development is premature. Okay, I want to go Tal Yusupo, one particular position. It's going on normal. I will skip the opening discussion. Now the point is this position. This is the wonderful plan on by Yusupo. Now the point is Queen has no good mobility. So this is how he creates. Now Queen B8 creates counter. Now F4 is bad. Now if you play F4, F4 it is bad. Queen check will come. Or maybe you will play knight, queen check, knight e3. It should be winning easily. Forced to take, and then rook takes and queen takes a double. So you cannot. This is a simple plan, queen b8. Very nicely handling. Otherwise, the queen has no activity. Note, if the pawn is on b6, then there is queen b8 is meaningless. Suppose the diagram pawn b6 is there, so there is no such thing. So the queen comes for the active play. With that idea to counter attack with the idea to give some check at diagonal. Perfectly played by Yusupo. Counterplay. Black has got now activity against the B2 pawn. Endgame is good. Minus plus. So in a team tournament that Yusupo won this very active pieces. Minus plus. What is good about this thing is a player should notice this maneuver. I showed another game of park defense or some Royal Lopez game. Queen B8 coming to action. Good game. This is very nice game. The diagram Queen D8. One more game I'll show. Thereafter I'll have to stop because they told me the repair work. This game. Karpov Believski. Now, so Queen's Gambit decline. I'll go quickly up to 16 moves. White stands better. Isolated pawn, but middle game it is favorable position because center and activity. Suppose you exchange four minor pieces, but white is very badly placed. So, so naturally A3, 95, good move. At the moment, Queen D2 is not good, A4 is coming. This will be equality. So, the correct move, timely Karpov played 95. Now, Queen. Okay, what should you do now? To play? Naturally, I will put passive defense is bad. So, third attack. Now, Queen into. Pawn into, you lose all your advantage after bishop e6 or bd3. So, Queen into. A critical moment. I give you 3 minutes time to think how should white play. Hello, Devang Makwana. Yes, yes, Ramakrishna. That is also Italian plan. Now, bishop is under attack. This position, he has attacked. What should you do? Naturally, Karpov is a really great player. I always learned many things from his game. Only thing, if he was attacking player, he would have been a Jabardast player. But he was only positional and playing technical chess. What to do? No, 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 no. Parth Matre, not B2. You see, active move. Always, if you go passively, everything is over. Not you won't get anything. The d4 pawn is falling. You have to notice your d4 pawn is falling. You go back, nothing. Queen into d4 will come. So the correct move, active counter attack. White goes for activity. The correct move is queen. This is the move that keeps the initiative. Now if you move, for example, if you take this, now actually why this? The knight is hanging here also. But after taking this, don't take mechanically. Do not do this. ये तो मिलेगा ही. So correct move is rook. अभी क्वीन टेक्स पान नहीं चलेगा. रुक चेक है. मात. I give मात. So queen takes pawn नहीं चलता है. You have to go back. Now then I take. So the whole point is queen c5 and you take re7 is clear plus minus. The position is better. It is not. I don't claim it is winning. It is clearly better for white. After you go queen c8, I will take queen into b6 with a big initiative. So in that game, he played queen rook. Now queen c8 was safer move. This was a safe move. Check, lost. Check, lost. You only move, but then rook is lost. So even if you go here, even if you go, the position is bad position. The pawn attacked, this pawn attacked. A very nicely played game by Karpov. Very beautiful game. Okay. Now, for example, I don't think, I don't think I'll have to stop because they told, okay, friends. So because of this, repair work going on next door. So they told me that a lot of people will come and noise. I'll have to stop. So I will see you back again on Thursday morning. Thursday I will have only one session. Thursday morning 9:30 to 12:30. One session. No session in the afternoon. Yeah, it will come now. So see you Thursday morning 9:30 to 12:30. No session in the afternoon on Thursday. So take care. सबको बड़ा नमस्कार. What is the question? What is the Kortune style? Find it difficult to find his style after analyzing 30 of his games. I will give you the answer. You know, Grandmaster Anthony Miles was losing to Korchnoi regularly. So he told him, a terrible Victor. He said, Korchnoi is a terrible Victor Korchnoi. No, he said, Victor the terrible. He said, I just cannot understand what Korchnoi wants. He wants to do. Basically, I will tell you, all the time Korchnoi is working on only clear technical plus. He wants to win in any position. So he wants to keep a technical edge in any position. At the same time, he does not omit the active tactical operation, which is missing in the games of Karpov, games of Korchnoi or Petrosian. They were not interested in tactical operation. They were only interested in a technical aspect. Whereas Korchnoi was good in technical aspect, so he was looking constantly superior technical position, maneuvering, and also in the meantime he was not missing the tactical operation, calculating lot of variations very quickly. So that is the style. Okay, friends, thank you very much. Sabko mera namaskar. See you Thursday morning 9:30.